Hey, Dr. Quark, what's quantum mechanics?
Little Timmy asked, his eyes wide with curiosity. Dr. Quark smiled. He loved explaining science to kids. Well, Timmy, quantum mechanics is like a set of rules for really tiny things. It's how atoms and even smaller particles behave.
But why do tiny things need special rules?
Great question. You see, in our big world, things follow rules we can see and understand, but in the teeny tiny world, things get weird. Really weird.
Weird how?
Timmy asked, leaning in closer. Imagine if your toys could be in two places at once, or if they could talk to each other instantly, no matter how far apart they were. That's the kind of weird I'm talking about.
No way, that's impossible.
In our big world, yes, but in the quantum world, it happens all the time. That's why we need quantum mechanics. It helps us understand and use this weirdness.
Tell me more about these weird tiny things.
Timmy was hooked. Okay, let's start with atoms. You know what those are, right?
They're the building blocks of everything.
Exactly. Now, atoms are made of even smaller parts. Protons, neutrons, and electrons. These are some of the tiniest things we know about, and they don't behave like anything in our big world, Dr. Quark continued. Think of it like this. You know how you can predict where a ball will go when you throw it? Well, with these tiny particles, we can't always do that. They're unpredictable. Sometimes they act like little balls. Other times they act like waves.
Waves, like in the ocean?
Kind of, but these waves are special. They're not made of water, they're waves of possibility. It's like the particles are everywhere and nowhere at the same time. Weird, right?
Waves of possibility? How does that work?
Timmy's head was spinning. Dr. Quark smiled. He loved Timmy's curiosity. Let's try a fun experiment. Close your eyes and point to where you think I am. Timmy closed his eyes and pointed.
There!
Dr. Quark chuckled. Good guess. But what if I told you that in the quantum world I could be in many places at once? It's like I'm spread out in a wave of possibilities. Only when you look do I decide where to be.
That's crazy. How can something be a wave and a particle?
That's the big question in quantum mechanics. We call it wave-particle duality. Sometimes these tiny things act like particles, other times like waves. It depends on how we look at them.
So they're both?
Exactly. In the quantum world, things can be two things at once. It's like if you could be both a kid and a grown-up at the same time. Weird, but cool, right?
Wait, you said things can be in two places at once. How?
That's called superposition. It's one of the strangest things in quantum mechanics. Imagine you have a coin. In our world, it's either heads or tails, right?
But in the quantum world, the coin could be heads and tails at the same time, until you look at it. Then it decides to be one or the other.
In our big world, yes. But for tiny particles, it happens all the time. They exist in many states at once. It's only when we measure them that they choose one state.
But why?
That's the big mystery. We don't know why, we just know it happens. It's like the particles are playing a game of hide and seek. They're hiding in many places at once. But when we look, they have to pick one spot to be in.
What other weird things happen in the quantum world?
Oh, there's lots more. Have you ever heard of entanglement?
It sounds spooky.
It is spooky. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. Imagine you have two particles. They're connected in a special way. If you change one, the other changes instantly, no matter how far apart they are.
Even if they're really far away? Like on different planets?
Exactly. It's like they have a secret telephone line, one that works instantly across the whole universe.
But how?
We don't know. It's one of the big mysteries of quantum mechanics. We can use it to do cool things like make super secure codes. But we don't know why it happens. It's just quantum weirdness.
Wow, quantum mechanics is so strange.
It sure is. And that's what makes it so exciting. There's still so much we don't understand.
But if we don't understand it, how do we use it?
Great question. Even though we don't know everything about quantum mechanics, we can still use what we do know. It helps us make better computers, medical scanners, and even GPS.
So, we're using something we don't fully understand?
Exactly. That's the beauty of science. We're always learning, always discovering, and quantum mechanics is full of mysteries waiting to be solved.
Maybe I'll solve some of those mysteries when I grow up.
I bet you will. Remember, Timmy, the quantum world is weird and wonderful. It breaks all the rules we're used to, and that's what makes it so amazing. Keep asking questions, and who knows what you'll discover.